Hi, my name is Ranna Gill and I tell my stories through design. I can start with a little bit of my early days. My father was in the army, and before we could spell anything permanent, we were ready and packing and moving again. There was always a new city, new friends, new location, new languages. It was really disrupting in the beginning and it was hard for me as a little girl. But as I grew older, I realized the advantage of this and how it added to my character and how it helped me pivot and move to new cities and make new friends and start over again. A few of my dad's postings were in Kashmir, where I learned, my love for nature started there at a very young age of 4. The snow-capped mountains, the valleys, the flowers, they were just etched in my heart. Another posting of my father was in Bangalore, where I learned Bharatnatyam dance, and that helped me to flow and glide gracefully into my next chapter. The final of his postings was in New Delhi, and that was everything to me. I did my schooling there, and I started my early career in New Delhi. New Delhi's landscape was just amazing. It taught me how history blended with modernity. I started my early education in fashion at NIFT, New Delhi, after which I went to New York to get my bachelor's in fashion from New York. New York was a great playground for a young artist to be learning and growing her skills. It taught me so much and the learnings were invaluable. After I had finished my education, I worked with Mr. Ralph Lauren and I learned to make the perfect pantsuit for a woman at his atelier. Coming back a few years later, after having graduated and gotten my training at the House of Ralph Lauren, I started my career 2 decades ago in my mother's factory with her pattern maker, her sample tailor, a few beads and trims, and a crystal clear vision of where I wanted my brand to go. Fast forward, many years later, I showed in many fashion weeks, had my collection bought in various fairs. I dressed many beautiful and powerful women, and I launched a label that had an Indian heart and a global vision. As a designer, I'd always loved to travel, and those references and instances is what I bring into my fashion. I took the first step in creating a true ready-to-wear business in India. At the time, the Indian landscape was etched with couture fashion, bespoke fashion, and most everybody of my peers did ethnic Indian couture bridal clothing. And I was the first in my lot to actually branch out and do ready-to-wear. Those were my learnings from New York, and I took that forward. I always love to travel, and I take my travel references and I use them in my prints. I kind of bring my prints to life with all the stories. Some of the prints that I have been inspired from are the prints from Marrakesh, the souks, the colors of the carpets, the tiles. There is other prints that have been inspired by the boats, the hydrangeas, the sunset, the ocean from the Hamptons. There's other prints which I also inspired from the romance, the streets, the lights, the museums of Paris. So there's always a print from the Ranna Gill collection that has a story, and it has my story etched on those prints. We also took the first step in the ready-to-wear world in making beautiful product for our customer database. I washed all the products, the prints were designed at home, and there was a lot of work that went into this. It might sound very easy, but it's anything but. Me and my team work for weeks, sometimes months to master that perfect print, the perfect pattern, and the perfect shape. A few years later, I moved to New York, and I moved there with my family, and in New York, I learned the true map of ready-to-wear. I brought it home to New Delhi, and I kind of sharpened my pencil more, and I upped my skill game, and I brought all of those learnings into my fashion in New Delhi. It's been a great journey so far, and there's been many firsts in launching the ready-to-wear line, in being the first with working with my mother and launching the legacy of the Ranna Gill brand and bringing it to India. We've opened the door, my mother and I, hence to many women who have launched their brands after us and the people who work in my company. I'm really grateful for the talk here today, and I'm really grateful to my two children who have always empowered me to move forward, to my really kind husband Jason to empower me, my wonderful parents who've been with me in the journey throughout, and I'm grateful to my family. They are the wind beneath my wings. So thank you for today, and thank you for listening to me.
Wow.